Alright then, it's time for a Nautilus game, and yes, this is a ranked game. Which one? And my god, the Cinderhulk on Nautilus is just boner-inducing. What you do? And he might be one of the strongest tanks in the game right now. Well, honestly, he's probably the best tank in the game, although viability requires more other things to be taken into account. Either way, though, he was a champion that received both the boon of the Cinderhulk and personal changes to his kit. W was nerfed in terms of damage, but E was compensated by having a ridiculously lower cooldown. So now you can basically spam that shit all the time in the late game. So Nautilus' early game barely got touched, but mid and late game is essentially godlike. So my Heimerdinger teammate gets killed by Rammus. I go mid, and I can't get the Katarina. I tried throwing it in between the minions because I thought that's where she would run. Now, are you prepared to see the greatest gank ever in the whole goddamn universe? Katarina's still in the mid lane, my Heimerdinger's showing up, and I walk up to her, I hit her, and for some reason she blinks backwards. So essentially she died for free. Anyhow, runes and masteries. Attack speed red, attack speed quints, armor yellow, magic resistance blues 3, and 6 cooldown reduction blues. 921 0 masteries. Now, for attack speed quints, I don't normally go them, but in this case, it's because I forgot to change my runes again. So, it's probably the closest thing I could have gotten. In most cases, you'd want movement speed because Nautilus is just one slow motherfucker. And as far as masteries go, you can't just put 9 in utility for more movement speed and, rune mastery. Anyways, here comes Katarina alongside Rammus, squishing us in the middle, but she forgets that I'm a CC machine. And I pull her to me, stop her whole thing, and Heimerdinger's cannon just completely annihilates him. So that's 2 kills for us. Mid and the jungle are extremely strong right now. I don't even know why they thought that would work out. So, as you can see, I have Ranger's Trailblazer as well. Ranger's Trailblazer is the second choice to Skirmisher Saber, surprisingly for Nautilus. I would say that Stalker's Blade is a little bit too overkill. So, Skirmisher Saber is just in case you want to slap people with your anchor and kill them that way. Or the Ranger's Trailblazer if you want to maintain your sustain like I do in this game. Anyways, check this out. This is the Nautilus lockdown combo. Auto attack, W for the swing reset, E, then Q, pull them closer, and then ult them. Pretty much in some combination right there, it's the lockdown combo. You start off with an auto attack, then you reset it with your W for more damage, then you either use E to keep them in place, or you use Q, hit them again, and then E. Doesn't matter what rotation you do it there, they'll preferably use the E first on somebody who might have a chance to blink out, and so on and so forth. You usually use your ultimate at the end, just in case someone might try to run, or you need to do a bit more damage to keep them in place right there. So, I actually have a video called Nautilus Lockdown Combo if you want to see that in better detail. Now, my team is rather on par with the enemy team, since even though we did get some good kills early on, we're sort of trading kills. We die, they die, we die, they die, we die. Except me, because I'm Nautilus and I'm awesome. So, my bottom lane teammate Kennen, well, my top lane teammate Kennen went all the way down just to get a cheesy kill on Lucian. But this ends up resulting, well, slowly, pew, and then one more pew. Dead. So, I cast Katarina. I use my ultimate inappropriately here. It doesn't really that strong. But for some reason, she blinks to the other tower where Lucian was just recently killed, and only Braum is around. So it's like she's gonna die. She trapped herself within her own tower. If she had run to the other one, I wouldn't have really gone to it because the rest of my teammates weren't there. But here they just kind of lure themselves to their own deaths. 4v2. Then after that is obviously a free dragon. Now take notice that I'm buying Catalyst of the Protector. Obviously this is to buy Righteous Glory. I did this for 2 reasons. Normally I would get a Randuin's Omen, but the enemy team comp isn't someone that Randuin's Omen is going to be that effective on. Obviously they're mostly magic and whatever, but they're also not that very mobile. So I figured, they're not retroactively mobile or backwards mobile. I mean, a lot of them are mobile forwards. They'll go forwards to the fight and start things out. And afterwards, Righteous Glory allows you to position yourself better and whatnot. Still though, Righteous Glory is built to deal with them, to take advantage of their mobility, their disability to disengage. They're better to say that. And give my teammates better maneuverability. Afterwards, I actually will buy Lock of the Admiral Solari to protect them against the magic damage. again, Righteous Glory is just to deal with them. Plus, the Catalyst will help me since it seems to me that throughout most of this game, I'm just wandering around, venturing forth, and making shit happen rather than farming or whatever, which is kind of a burden on my mana. So I'm using all my abilities during every little instance and burning through my mana, and hopefully the Catalyst, along with the mana pool that it's given me and the restoration that it's going to grant me, it would keep me up. That was my logic throughout the game. Now, another thing you might notice is that I don't immediately upgrade my boots to rank 2. It's for the same reason as to why I got the Righteous Glory. The enemy team isn't that very mobile at disengaging, so once they engage in on top of me or around me, I'm pretty much gonna have them within my range of threat, right? I'm gonna be able to do whatever I want to them. Now, this is just a perfect example of how badass a tank can be. They initiate on me with everything they've got. They even use Brahm's ultimate right now. And I still don't die. I don't even know why they bothered to do this, because the rest of my teammates just got a lot of pock shots onto them. In fact, I don't think anybody here really dies. They all get to survive because just everybody disengaged and kind of ran away. Katarina does kill the Caitlyn, and then I believe the Katarina will die. I go on top of Lucian, annihilate his health, but unfortunately for me, he ends up having a flash, so he flashes away. What you call it? Vlad kills Kennen, we kill Katarina. Slowly, we do kill her. And then I believe, actually, yeah, we just kind of get annihilated in this one. I try to run away. I make a mistake here. I should have used the Q to go to the wall and make more distance against the Vladimir, but I used my E because I predicted his return from his little blood pool. I didn't predict it correctly, so he didn't get hit by my E at all. Unfortunately, it cost me my life. I think I could have gotten a cheesy kill on the Vladimir. But, you know, I might have my revenge later. I upgraded Mercury Treads after because from that little example there, it seemed the enemy team was quite willing to burn a bunch of crowd control on me for some other reason. So I figured Mercury Treads would help me with the tenacity since Cinderhulk has essentially lost it. Now here Kennen gets caught. I run towards the Rammus as quick as I can. Unfortunately, he still ends up hitting the Kennen even though he also hit me. And I'm just trying to become a wall between the Kennen and the enemy team, using everything to keep them away from them. I don't know if I exactly kept them alive or they just wouldn't have had enough damage, but I like to say I influenced the outcome of his survival. Katarina tries to do something, but I'm so fucking fat and invincible, they really can't kill me. I know I can still contribute despite the fact that I'm so low, so I stick around. I hook the Rammus, even though he's spinning, I absorb his shotgun and he gets killed. I love that as tanks. Right now the tank meta is especially fun for me because this is the type of specialization I've always had, being the team player, the support that's hard to kill. Except not Leona, because I don't really like Leona. I mean, I don't like playing her. Anyways, as Nautilus, you saw me there, even though the fight, I mean, throughout the whole fight, I just sort of throw my body in front of the enemy team. If they try to kill me, if they try to focus me, they're burning all their abilities, and my teammates will hopefully take advantage of that. That can be also seen as a weakness of Nautilus. You really can't do much by yourself outside of, you know, giving the enemy team the squeeze of death. Hopefully the your teammates can shank them while you're squeezing them right now, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys ever played Dungeons & Dragons, but there was something you could do called the coup de grace to finish off a target. But the coup de grace was also available if the enemy was immobilized. That meant you could actually have a dude who was specialized in unarmed combat, and he could hold the enemy down. And then let's say you're the fighter with a spear or something. You can announce a coup de grace and do an instant kill on the target because your teammate pinned them down and held them down. But even then, the enemy slowly can break out of that grip hold that the teammate might have, and your coup de grace will fail, or your teammate might just get killed because he's no longer hugging this chimera or some shit. So, yeah, that's kind of the best example I can give to Nautilus. The reason why I don't think he might take off in comparison to Sejuani or Zac or what's his face, Sion, is because he is way more reliant on his teammates than the others are. Of course, like, he can set up so many good plays, but if the follow-up isn't there, it's gonna fuck up. Like here, look, I go up to Katarina, I just kind of piss on her. She can't really do anything and just shoot her away. And my teammates are fighting off another one. Yeah, surely it's kind of a smart thing to do. But come on, I myself cannot kill anybody. I need the support of other people. And there will actually be a team fight where this is exemplified, in which I make an initiation that I think is proper, though it turns out not the best. And the follow up isn't that great, therefore we just can completely get wiped out. I'm telling you this now so you can watch out for it. Most of these fights were initiated on stragglers or counter initiations because the enemy team gets a little too ahead of themselves. Like Rammus here, he just kind of beelines towards us, but he's not too sure if my teammates are hanging out by the side. He kind of underestimates just how hard I am to kill, and so he wasted his talent on me. I act as a barrier between them to my Heimerdinger, and it just cost them their lives. They handle that poorly. If they wanted to do anything, the best bet Ramos would have had is to try to either squeeze through and grab Heimerdinger instead of taunting me for some reason, and pulling Heimerdinger out as best as he could using line of sight. By the way, here the Vladimir completely outplays us. I initiated on him thinking we'd be able to CC lock him down and kill him, but he ends up killing the Heimerdinger and flashing out. And by the way, the Heimerdinger has probably one of the best names you'll ever see, and I wish I kind of thought about that before. Now, anyways, another fight breaks out. We CC on the Rammus, and I end up just pulling him back, but like we just don't have enough damage to kill his fat ass either. So it's still fine. We just end up backing off, and it was kind of cool. You can see how I do the hook with Nautilus a few times. I CC the enemy team, I blow all my cooldowns on them, and I calculate when my Q is going to come back out. Since I don't really do a lot of damage with auto attacks, but without my W or just in general, I'll use that time to position myself better to make my hook even stronger. So you'll see me pull back and then pull them use my Q and pull them even more towards me. Because if I just used my Q from where I was, it likely wouldn't have done a damn thing. So it's just kind of, even if you're a tank sometimes, it doesn't mean you always have to be in the front. You should always be in a position that is superior for the enemy team. To deal with the enemy team. In this case, though, I actually pinged my teammates that the enemy was in this bush. Unfortunately, some other teammates kind of didn't respond to that too well, so we ended up going in 3v5 and dying really embarrassingly. And honestly, I should have kind of made sure that the rest of my team were on the ball for this before going in. So I actually think it's my mistake of kind of rushing it. I just kind of got greedy. Still, though, this is another good example of just how fat fucking Nautilus can get. Look, it's 3 versus 1. Those Zyra comes back just to help me, and they really can't do enough damage to finish me off. Though I also can't do enough damage to finish that low health Katarina off. And it just becomes a noodle fight right here, you know, slapping each other with wet noodles and shit. The Vladimir just sustains himself. I slowly beat him to death with my anchor. And if it wasn't for the Zyra returning or for him using this pool at an inappropriate time, he would have survived longer, or he should have just kind of run away instead of trying to pick an early kill. Cannon teleports in just to die as well. So, lock into the Iron Solari. Next item I'm getting is Warmog's armor. Though it kind of, in retrospect, makes me feel a little silly. The enemy team was so keen on focusing me in a lot of fights, even though they shouldn't. I should have rushed a Thornmail before my Warmogs. I do get a Thornmail after the Warmogs, but again, seeing as they kind of focused me, or I kind of forced them to focus me, it seemed like it would have been a smarter choice. As you can see there, I ran into the Rammus purposely just to create this barrier once again. I'm in the front line soaking up all the damage, but once I get low, I actually try to back away. Of course, I still die because Vladimir showed up, but whatever. I'll reiterate what I just said. If I soak up a bunch of damage and I get low, I'll back away. There's no use in being the tank and just dying. Dying isn't what you're trying to do. You're supposed to protect your teammates and set up situations. So if it comes to where you're about to die as a tank, might as well escape, but hang around so you can use another wave or rotation of your abilities. In fact, a next team fight, you're actually going to see that. When I get low, I will back away just like I did in bottom lane. Just so I can make sure to use another rotation of my abilities, or at least have my W up to give me some artificial health boost, right? A shield. And of course, like sorry, I'm getting my stuttering problems right now. As you saw in the bottom lane right there, I put myself in the middle between my teammates and just soaked up all the damage. Now, normally that would be considered damage. That would be considered still dealing damage, but a lot of it is being wasted because by that time, I mean, they wasted how many ultimates? Like they wasted like 3 ultimates trying to do something to me, and it just resulted in my teammates taking no damage and eventually just being able to fight them off. Though we actually got killed because Vladimir showed up. Anyways, here again, the Vladimir sort of just stomps my team. It's coming to be that it's going to be a problem here. It's like the enemy, even though I scare the enemy team off with my fat ass, the rest of my teammates are going to get cleaned up by Vladimir and that Katarina. So it's unfortunate that we don't have another tanky champion and the cannon stuns aren't so immediate as to stop Katarina. So I have to sort of put myself in less of an initiator role and more of a bodyguard. Fortunately for me, Nautilus is one of the best bodyguards out there. You can see I'm just keeping the enemy at bay and making sure Remus does anything. And I'm letting the cannon be the one to initiate. And once he goes in, I go in too. And we just destroy the Katarina. Unfortunately, the Vladimir is so damn tough. I can't pin him down long enough, or at least my CC doesn't last long enough before he starts doing some terror-ass shit. So he kills Azira here, actually. I think he uses E and then Q and kills her. And we are able to chase him down and kill him too. But as you can see, it wasn't a good victory. It was a 3v3 victory. And, I mean, we did get a dragon, but damn, there's really little I can do against Vladimir. So, that's, again, the problem with Nautilus. You can do the best to defend your teammates, but there's going to be a point where just you are not enough to deal with it. You can either be an initiator or a bodyguard. Now, either way, here, Lucian, for some reason, decides to pick a fight with me, but it's like he can't do anything no matter what he does, so I just kind of blast at him, just punch him in the dick, and scare him off. Katarina gets caught, and she's very low health, and Remus gets caught too. Katarina's going to hide over the wall. She's going to look for her opportunity to jump in, while Remus is just getting hand-blasted by so much damage. We don't check the bush. I use my locket before we check the bush, and I'm keeping my eye on Katarina. I don't use my ultimate until I see Katarina. So here again, becoming the wall for my team. All the damage they're trying to do is going to be soaked through me. They cannot do a damn thing, and my teammates are just blasting at them from behind. And once Kennon's ultimate is ready, he just goes right in. Katarina goes behind us and just gets killed by a goddamn turret. I thought that was hilarious as hell. Again, I saved my ultimate just in case Katarina decided to hop in and I just knock her out of her ultimate. So I think she realized that I wasn't going to use it until she showed her face up. So she finally tried to do something only for her just to die anyways. So yeah, I've seen that in this tank meta too. A lot of new flavor of the month tank players just use all their abilities when they're off cooldown instead of using them intelligently. Again, here I just grabbed the Rammus just to make sure he wouldn't get anywhere near my teammates. Throughout this entire game, I hope you've seen it, I just go up to the characters closest to my teammates and snare them, pull them back, just keep them away from them. Though that snare right there, I mean that hook failed completely. I just made sure my teammates would be completely safe. I trusted them, especially the Heimerdinger after he communicated a lot with me, that I could trust him to do the right thing. So this entire game, even though I got a lot of kills, I just tried spending my entire time setting everything up for my teammates to take care of it. So hooray for Nautilus and hooray for Nautilus and hooray for a cooperative team. That's again, I would not really recommend Nautilus in solo queue unless you have a team composition you feel would be able to take advantage of what you're trying to set up. Or you can trust your teammates because god damn it, you can't do anything by yourself. So the hooray!